I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. Now this is a classic camping fuel canister that most all of us have used if we've ever gone camping, and probably with a jet boil or some sort of Amazon device to go cooking with. But if you've done more than a couple of trips, you realize these get really empty, but they don't fully get empty. And that's where the Flipfuel comes into play, as well as this awesome little one by Alpenglo called the fuel transfer valve. And these are the primary two devices that you can use to refill one of these small canisters, which is very nice because if you buy a bigger one at a cheaper price per ounce, you can just keep refilling these instead of having to throw them out with a little bit of fuel inside of them. What I really wanted to show you is how this works with the Flipfuel as well as the Alpenglo, and this third device, mystery device, to also use on the bottom of your fuel canisters. This is not ultralight by any stretch, and most people wouldn't bring this, but I'm going to tell you, this is what I'm bringing over those every time. Now to refill these, they do have to be at two different temperatures. So one has to be warmer, the other one has to be quite cold. You could put it into an ice chest or into a freezer. I've got one in the freezer right now. Let me go grab it, and we are going to place it on top and fill up this Flipfuel canister, and then I'm going to show you what the better alternative is, in my opinion. First, we're going to start with the Flipfuel. That is kind of the original concept designer of this fuel transfer valve for backpackers, hikers, campers, all of that. And it's a really simple valve. You can probably figure it out by yourself. One goes on the top, one goes on the bottom. You open this valve, let it transfer down. Ice cold. I've had it in the freezer for probably 15-20 minutes. I'm going to put my microphone down so you can hear it. Now that's a Flipfuel. Not super hard, not super involved. To me, oddly, feels a little less safe, even though it probably is a little more safe. Now we're going to go with this little itty bitty Alpenglo valve. Again, it's tiny, and I'm imagining backpackers who are bringing more than one fuel canister are going to be bringing this one. You literally just place it on top of it, put this on here. Very fast, very efficient. I do prefer this one. You got a little bit in there. When it comes to fuel and for camping, especially during campfire season, there is one device that I prefer over these fuel transfer valves, and that is actually by a company called Firemaple, which I find to be a relatively inexpensive company, especially for alternatives for larger companies like Jetboil and Nemo, this table. You can find a lot of alternatives at a cheaper price with Firemaple. This was gifted to me for my birthday. I had been eyeballing it for a long time before I knew these existed, because I knew that this little thing right here, it is glass, is a lantern. And it is the only way I previously knew that you could get rid of the bottom of a canister. What I like about it is that during fire ban seasons, or if you don't want to have LED lights being the whole aesthetic of your campsite, which I'm not a big fan of, I like to have a glow. This little thing functions beautifully, and it is the talking piece of every camping trip I'm ever on, because I don't care how ultralight things are. I want comfort, and I want the vibe. I want to feel like I'm in nature, regardless if I have a fire or not, or if there's any wood around. Sometimes there's not wood for a fire. I want fire. It starts off really big, especially if you got a full canister. And then like that, you've got a beautiful lantern for cooking your food. You just twist this little glass piece over. No airflow can get in, and it handles quite a bit of wind with no problem because it's got this glass encasement. Overall, you're going to have a great light source. Whoa! As you can see, it's getting windy. You'll have a great light source that you can utilize during camping trips. It's a Firemaple lantern, and I love it. If for some reason I'm choosing to go ultralight, which I have a mix of ultralight and comfort stuff, it is valuable to invest in one of these. The Alpenglo one is about $12 to $13, and the Flipfuel, this was a gift, so I couldn't say for sure, but because it's a metal composite of some sort with a valve and a lot of working pieces. I'm going to guess this is in the $20 to $50 range. Give the prices up here, as well as the lantern right here. I recommend every single one of these devices, but for me, I probably wouldn't do the Flipfuel in my opinion, because the Alpenglo is such a simple device and it's fast. It's fast. This one you have a control valve with, but I'm honestly going to be choosing the Alpenglo over the Flipfuel, not only for weight, but for ease of use. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are pieces of equipment that I love. I find very useful. They don't cost a lot of money. Very practical for camping and backpacking and van life. I mean, I use these things in all of my outdoor adventures if I'm doing anything that's going to be overnight. I prefer these smaller canisters, so you buy a bigger one and then you just keep refilling this. I don't know if a larger canister exists. It would be nice to just be able to buy a 5-gallon and then refill these up, and I don't know, I'd spend 150 bucks on one of those and just refill this because it's still going to be cheaper. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you being here. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Oh, and if you guys go ahead and hit that like, that'd be great. Okay, that's all.